Midnight, moonlight, the wind blows off St. Clair. I'm stuck at a red light, waiting at 6 Mile in Delaware. The sound of a distant firebird, the echo of a ride and Smokey's words, and absence, sweet absence, fills the freezing air. I've been wayside for years now, but no one seems to care. Their eyes on the distant horizon, I drove them out of here. Gave you the American dream and the music for your movie scene night, but you left my bleeding. So listen to my prayer. 6 Mile in Delaware, the sound of a distant fire. You can break my heart and crush my dreams, but you can never take my soul. You can crack my stones and melt my steel, but you can never take my soul. You can break my heart and crush my dreams, but you can never take my soul. You can crack my stones and melt my steel, but you can never take my soul. You can never take my soul. You can never take my soul. You can crack my stones and melt my steel, but you can never take my soul.
All right, so welcome everybody to Gears of War Roster Mania. It's good to have you all here again, as usual. That was a little bit of a slow song. I figured I'd change it up a little bit compared to my constant house and dance music, even though that's kind of classified as that. But I thought that was a little bit slower, a little bit, put me into the mood, a little bit more passionate. You could take my soul. So yeah. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. We have a lot to talk about. Obviously, tonight is all Gears esports related. For everyone that doesn't know, friends, family, people that are just watching the show, just tuning in for the first time. I don't only talk about Gears of War. I actually talk about everything esports related, and sometimes even out of it. I have guests from all over the industries. I've had casino owners, I've had business owners, I've had org owners, I've had pro players. You name it, I've had it. I'm still trying to add to the resume for my show because obviously the more content, the better. So I always try to keep it new, and I always try to keep it as spicy as I can. But tonight it's just esports related, and the only reason why that is because we actually have a major tournament coming up, January 26th to the 28th. That's mainly what we're going to be talking about here tonight. That is actually going to be in Mexico City. For everybody that doesn't know, the Mexico City fans are insane. I mean, these guys love Gears of War. They breathe Gears of War. They talk about Gears of War. The fan base over there is honestly insane. The event is sold out. I'm extremely excited. I obviously won't be there. Very short notice for me. I actually just came back from PAX South. I had a blast. So I'm not going to be making it to Mexico City. But you know what? That's what's great about my show. I can still talk about it. I can still give my predictions. I'm also going to have Dan, a.k.a. War Dog, like you guys all know. Dan has worked with me a whole bunch of different times, locally and on here on the show. So Dan's going to be coming on, talking with me, just so we can make it a little bit more interesting to get our two different ideas and topics out there. in regards to what I have on the board. So you guys, as always, we're going to be talking about the January 14th North American 2K tournament for EsportsGears. That's what the results are up there for. Then second on the list, upset of this week, 2K. Possibly Vital Aspects beats EchoFox. You guys tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm right, but that's definitely the upset, I think, of the week for the 2K. Obviously, we see EchoFox, a top 4 team, probably even top 2. Even though they went out early, flukes happen. I am not here to bash EchoFox. I honestly think EchoFox is the second best team out there. They've showed us before in the past that they have what it takes. They obviously, like I said, a mistake happened. I don't know. I didn't really watch it, so I can't really tell you. And, we can't make up rumors. Fact is that they lost. Extremely big upset. Is Vital Aspect the real deal? That's really the question tonight. Then we have up next, we have Panic Mode. Ghost Gaming places outside of the top 4. Now, for everybody that doesn't know, Ghost Gaming is another powerhouse squad currently in the Gears of War scene. I consider them and rank them 3rd overall. They have been placing consistently top 4. More than likely have been hitting top 3 or 3rd place, sorry, to make it simpler for you guys. So, yeah, they place outside of top 4. Do I think they're going to place outside of top 4 at Mexico City? Absolutely not. I still see Ghost Gaming in there. Probably put him at 3rd once again. I don't know why. I don't know why it always seems to happen like that. A team repeats and repeats and repeats the same placing. Not to say that they're bad. It just means that Optic and EchoFox have a very strong hold on that 1 and 2 spot. Then lastly, we're going to have, like I said earlier, the EsportsGears Mexico City event, which is January 26th to the 28th. Obviously in Mexico City, which is going to be wild. We're going to be having our predictions. So we're going to be talking about our top 8 teams that we see, fit to place top 8. We'll break it down from 8 to 1 or 1 to 8, whatever it is. We're going to have some interesting topics regardless. All EsportsGears tonight, guys. So don't expect too many guests on here. If we are going to have probably 1 or 2 or maybe a little bit more guest from Vital Aspects. I actually wanted to get them on here just because after a big win like they had against EchoFox, that's huge. That's something you don't really see very often. So it's very exciting to see Vital Aspects do that. And I wish them the best of luck going forward. Obviously, they won a very, very big match. They showed us, they can compete with the best. Whether it's true or not, or whether it was a fluke or not, that's up to them to show us. We're just here to watch, and we're just here to talk about them. Obviously, I like to talk about everybody. We don't want to talk about just the pro teams. We want to be able to give that spotlight to each and every team, to different players, just because that gives more exposure to them. That gives most exposure to amateur players, semi-pro players, pro orgs, semi-pro orgs. We want to be able to spread the wealth a little bit, and I'm all about that. I've been told by mentors, and that's kind of where I've been since the beginning of the show. We kind of want to have a grassroots, background or aspect to my show and to myself. I give everybody the time of day. I give every team, I give every player the time of day, because you just don't know what you're going to learn from different people. And by talking to different players, especially in the esports world, you're going to pick up little things here and there, whether it's good things or bad things. But you as an individual have to be able to break that down. Obviously, being a pro player isn't easy. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of effort. I've grown as a player through the years. I started when I was 15 years old, and I stopped competing 26, honestly, last year. I think my last event was July or so. But through those years, I learned so much by playing. I learned that I was a hothead. Granted, yes, I was a hothead. Was I really good? Yes. You guys all know me. I'm not going to be completely modest. Now, you all know, if you guys watch me at events and you know me as a person, I'm extremely confident and sometimes cocky. I hit the border. But that's what comes with having a personality. That's what comes with being funny. That's some things we don't really see too much right now in EsportsGears, which I don't like. We need a little bit more spunk. We need a little bit more of a background story. We need somebody out there, a loudmouth, putting it out there. You guys suck, just... I can't say too much, I got to be professional now, obviously, with the show and whatnot. There's a lot of people watching, and this hits YouTube, and, I don't want to be too aggressive. But, yeah, that's just all comes with being a pro player. It takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort. You got to play every week. Guys are playing 5 to 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week if they have the time. They also have 2Ks on Sundays, so it's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort, and to get to that pro level, you really have to show the dedication. You have to work really hard, And that's just something that, you tend to build on as you continue to play through the years. Like I said, I started at 15, ended at 26. A lot of time, a lot of developing as an individual. So that's my spiel on that. I was asked that actually a lot at PAC South, how I became a pro player and so forth. And why I chose Gears. Obviously, I chose Gears because I enjoy it. Pretty decent at it. I wasn't the best at the time when I was playing. I would say I'm the best because, duh, nobody was better than me. I mean, I didn't necessarily win every event, but that wasn't my fault. That wasn't my fault. But before I get started, guys, and I get Dan on here, I just want to give one major shout out right now. I'm going to give Big Sean from Homicide a shout out. All right, guys, Big Sean from Homicide. Thank him for watching. He should be on the show within a week or two. I can't give you too much information, but Big Sean, if you're watching, this is for you, boss. And yeah, hopefully we have him on here soon enough for you guys. Sean is a pretty entertaining person, good guy, and he has talked to me about coming on the show. I know him personally. So that should be probably in a week or two, whenever he's ready. Like I said, guys, if you ever want to come on the show, if you ever have any idea or anything like that, you be sure to contact me. You guys could talk to me on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm always open to any ideas. Like I said, guys, I like talking to everybody and anybody. I'm here to build. I'm here to build myself. I'm here to build my brand. Super personal. I actually, since we're on the topic, I went to PAC South this past weekend, hung out with Hannah and Katrina. We were there for the Center of Suicide Awareness. Big shout out to Barb and the whole crew. We thank you guys for helping us out. And, it was a great cause. We met a lot of new people. I met a lot of different streamers. Alex B-Boy, 10 man. As well, we met them. So awesome guys. I had a blast out there. And like I said, I met a lot of people just by talking. The Gears community, I feel like doesn't communicate as well. And sometimes I get a bad rap with the Gears War community just because you guys don't really talk to me. You guys are just there. So the people that do know me, love me. And I'm a good time. So if I ever could get out to another Gears event anytime soon, guys, feel free to say hello. And let's have a good time. Let's have a little chat. I like to talk to everybody. Obviously, I do the show because I like to talk. I mean, I do talk a lot. Everyone tells me that. I hear it every day. But you know what? That's fine because that's who I am. That's NJCUBANO. That's Gabe. For everybody that doesn't know my real name, my name is Gabe, a.k.a. Gabriel. Don't wear it out. But yeah. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get Dan on here. Dan, a.k.a. War Dog, guys, on Twitter. It's at War Dog. My co-host for the night. Let me go ahead and fix the screens for you guys, and we'll get started with the topics. Let me see if... Yeah, this looks good. We'll put it like that. Let me go ahead and call Dan.
Hey, what's good?
What's up, Dan?
Nothing much. I feel like I need intro music when I come onto the show. You know, like you need to turn some music back on so I can come like.
You know what? I was actually thinking about that earlier when I was at at work. I was like, you know what? It'd probably be cool to get you on here with some music. I'm not gonna lie.
You got like this hype music. You get all like turned up, and like I just got to come in. And I just got to be ready to fire. So I put on some music like right before you call me. I get myself hyped up, and then I'm here.
You know what, Dan? Hold on. All right, we're gonna improvise here. All right, let's go ahead. I had to hang up on Dan. He's talking too much, honestly. Dan's talking way too much today. He's a little way too hyped. But let's see what I could do here.
I want to go somewhere.
Oh, there's always ads. YouTube and their ads and whatnot. They're always trying to make money off of us little dogs. Now, I've never done this. Music mid into the show, but I figured we'd introduce my co-host of the night, Dan, aka War Dog, the big dog of the yard. He's loud, he's big, he's War Dog. Let me check my moneymaker, hold on. Should I bring him on? Is he ready? I think he's ready. Hold on. Let's go ahead and call Dan. There he is. Let's bring him.
All right, I'm ready to go, baby.
There he is, Dan, aka War Dog, guys. We're live. Dan, how you doing? It's good to see you.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
To talk some Gears esports.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. So, guys, this is Dan, aka War Dog. Like I said, my co-host of the night. Follow him on Twitter at War Dog. You'll probably hear that all night. But yeah, that's much better intro. So let me go ahead and cut this off so we can get serious. Dan, good to see you.
Woo, dude, it's good to be back.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm getting over some, like post-traumatic stress disorder from the last 2K. But we'll get into that. But man, I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Ready. Okay, so that's good to hear. So, Dan, we're going to be talking about, like you've already heard, the 2K that just happened this past weekend. What a wild 2K we had. I know you were texting me. Dan does a really good job, guys, keeping up with Gears. I mean, this guy is knowledgeable about all of it, and also keeps up with it. But the stuff you were sending me was wild. I was like, okay, we need to talk about it this week. So, Dan, the first thing we're going to talk about before we get into the whole results and whatnot was the first tab that we got. Upset of this week's 2K. Now, for me, was Vital Aspects beats EchoFox. What do you think about that?
It's like Gears has been so, cookie cutter for so long that it's just almost like you don't know what the moment's going to be like when the top 3 gets shook up. And now it's finally here, and then it's just kind of like shell shock,
Wild.
It's like, it's almost like I'm not even like watching the same game anymore.
Well, Vital Aspect, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, came out of nowhere. I mean, I talked to them now, obviously, because of the show, and pretty wild. The fact that they beat EchoFox consistently placing, second place. I can't even say top 2, top 3 because they pretty much been placing second the whole time. To go ahead and lose to Vital Aspects, not to put down Vital Aspects, obviously that's a great, big deal for them, which I thought was pretty cool. But what do you think went wrong? I'm not too sure if you watched the game. I don't even know if watching the game would even, be able to tell us what happened. But what do you think personally happened?
I mean, I wasn't around for the game, so I couldn't catch it personally. I'm not I even tried to because I knew when when Explosive stream was up and they were in round 5 or something, I usually go around and I check a couple different streams from the top 4 or 5 or 6 teams, whoever's streaming. I usually stop by in for a map for each team just to see kind of how they're grooving that night. And when I went to go watch Optic in, again, whatever round it was, round 5 or something, I went and I looked in my Twitch following tab, and nobody from EchoFox and nobody from Ghost Gaming was there. And I was just, I thought it was maybe EchoFox has done this thing before where they don't stream to avoid the distraction just so they can hone in on the 2K. They've done that before. So I thought maybe it was something like that. But then when I saw, there was no stream from Rushies, there was no stream from Idenivs, nobody, nothing from Ghost as well. I was just like, something is wrong here. And then I went to the 2K bracket and there it was, they weren't in the 2K anymore. And it was just so odd to see that I just I had to check it twice and it was right in front of my face.
Yeah, I think honestly, like I said, that's probably the biggest upset. The fact that, EchoFox didn't make it. Obviously, we don't want to harp on it, but that was the biggest issue of this week's 2K for, besides our next topic. But one cool thing that I worked on for this week is actually getting 2 players. I'll try to get more if they could get their guys in, but I was trying to get the whole squad from Vital Aspects in on here to talk to us, Dan. I thought it'd be pretty cool, give them a little bit of the spotlight. I think they actually lost their match after that, or if not, they won one more and lost. But you know what? I still want to hear what they have to say. I want to hear how they felt, how it went, what the guys were doing, honestly, because they beat a pretty good team.
Yeah. What I'm really interested in is their mindset during that, what is the mindset after you beat the number 2 team in the game?
That's honestly a good question. That's why it's like, I don't know. I mean, I would have been pretty excited. I would have been wild. All right, is that Malik?
Yeah, hey guys.
Yeah, what's up, Malik?
Hey,
It's
what's going on?
Solemn, yeah.
All right, both of you guys are here. All right, so we got Dwayne and we got Malik. Feel free to add your guys' teammates if you'd like. For everybody that's here watching, these are two players from Vital Aspects. They're actually two of the guys that beat EchoFox, which, like I said, for everybody that doesn't know, is a top 2 team in the EsportsGears of War world. So we wanted to get them on here and kind of pick their brain a little bit about their match and, you know, going forward with their team and whatnot. So Malik and Dwayne. Dwayne, what's your gamer tag?
I'm VA Mercs.
All right.
Or Wayne Mercs. AB's Wayne Mercs.
Wayne Mercs. Okay. And Malik?
I'm VA Solemn.
Okay. All right. So, guys, big win this week. You guys played EchoFox. Dwayne, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about, you know, what happened. What did you guys think going into that match?
We knew we were gonna be the underdog, so we was like, we kind of know we're gonna play a pro team like in the 3rd or 4th round, got pro points. So we just kind of look forward to play him, and it's like it's good practice for us. So it's like playing EchoFox. Let's try to beat them. We want to win every match we play, pretty much. And we started off pretty well. I think we was up 3-1, 4-2, something like that, first half. And then we went down 4-6, and then we won 3 rounds straight. And I think we just felt confident. We just felt confident we could bang out with them, and we can play with any team in the game.
Sick. Now, what did you guys end up finishing them? It was a best of 1, obviously. And what map and what was the round count?
It was reclaimed, and we won 7-6.
Oh, so nail biter. Ouch. I think sometimes that's even worse.
Yeah, it was a boom shot round.
Oh no! All right, so who put the boom shot down?
EchoFox.
Yeah, because we put on an M bar up top because we were starting to win that fight, and then they couldn't really spread the map because they didn't want to put out a boom and an M bar, so then they swapped the weapon with a boom.
Oh boy, that's not good. Dan, what's your thoughts on that?
So I got a question for like either of you guys. So you guys are going in to play EchoFox, right? You knew you were gonna have to play a pro team at some point due to pro points. Was there any, any specific strategy or anything you did specifically because you knew it was EchoFox, like something you knew would maybe work, or something you tried to do against this team specifically? Say something you wouldn't try if it was Ghost or Optic.
You want to answer that, Malik, or you want me to say?
Pretty much, we just played like how we just know how we usually play the map, and then we noticed that we're better on first hills against them than second hills because they started putting that stuff in bottom barn, and then they got back they got back like 3 rounds. So like we like realized that we got all of our rounds off of the initials of like the first round of the first hills. So that's what we started playing for.
Interesting.
And also, I think we're just confident. Like I feel like we wanted to bang out with them. I feel like that's how we play. We like to play with our masters and stuff. And I don't want to shy away from playing our gameplay because it's EchoFox or it's Optic. We're gonna play how we want to play, and that's just how we played.
So
we didn't play scared or nothing. We just played our game.
So interesting that you say you didn't play scared. Like, what was your team's kind of mental state, or like what was your mentality like when you were down 4-6 and you knew that if you had any chance to do this, you needed 3 rounds in a row against the number 2 team? Was it kind of take it one step at a time, or did things just kind of fall into place? Did you change up strategy? Like, what kind of happened from that round on?
Putting it back first half, putting M bar up top was pretty much like the main thing. And we just wanted to try to play our game. Like we tried to stay calm, and we knew we were down, and we was like, we already got 4 rounds. We know we can get rounds on them, so we just try to play calm and just stay composed, pretty much.
Yeah, because we're pretty confident on the first couple of hills, on like the first hill fight. So like we just swapped it back up because they got back like 3 or 4 rounds straight when like the fight was at barn. Then we obviously played that fight bad, so we just swapped the fight back up top.
Okay. Now, going forward, did you guys play a match or 2, or did you tell me what happened after that, after the win against EchoFox?
We played against Musics and Co. And pretty much we didn't play as well as we should have. We lost 7-3. We choked a couple rounds and stuff like that. But it's like more things that we got to work on as a team. Like we just could be EchoFox on me. We're going to place top 2 exactly. So we still got a lot of things to work on.
Yeah, still a lot of work to go.
Of course. No, regardless, that was a big win for you guys. Obviously, beating EchoFox, second place team, and then going on and playing a completely different roster. Obviously, those guys were probably, amped up. You guys obviously had the, motivation behind you guys to beat a team like you did. So regardless, it doesn't matter if you guys lost the next match. It's the fact that, you guys stick together and you guys continue to work as a team. That's obviously what I want to see out of you guys. What is your goals going forward as a squad? Are you guys going to Mexico City? Are you sticking together? Tell us a little bit about that. Dwayne, we can start with you.
Yeah, we're sticking as a squad and stuff, but we're not going to Mexico City because of like personal things, and that's kind of always been our thing. So we already knew ever since after we played in Dallas. So after Dallas, we kind of knew we weren't going to Mexico. So we were looking like to use this time just to grow as a team and just keep practicing. I know it's online, but you got to start from somewhere, and.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's, most of the gameplay is going to be online. So that's not, that's the truth. Obviously you guys got to work together. Communication is key, and online, sometimes it gets a little harder, depending on, there's so many different, distractions. You're at home, there's noise, there's family, there's people, over. You guys are, somebody has a bad day, somebody's tired. So it's a little bit harder, but online is where you guys are going to do most of your, the good and the bad. Now, do you plan to attend the next event after Mexico City, which I think is going to be back here in the United States, if I'm not mistaken? We don't have a set location yet. So Malik, what's your thought on that?
Yeah, we're gonna attend the next American Land. Pretty much, that's what we're just gonna wait on. We're like starting to build up chemistry with the team and stuff. So we're just gonna work that out.
Absolutely. Dan, do you have anything else for these two young gentlemen?
Yeah, again, for either one of you guys, for all these other teams that find themselves in your situations where they have to play an Optic, a Ghost, an EchoFox, an E United in the 3rd or 4th round of the 2Ks, do you guys have any advice for teams that kind of find themselves where you guys were?
I'll go first. I think you just got to play your game. I think when we played them, we kind of just looked at EchoFox as randoms. Like we're just playing a ranked match. It's like we're just playing them as anybody else. They're the same. They're just guys behind a TV playing with a controller. That's how we look at it. There's nothing special about them. I mean, yeah, they have a lot of accomplishments in the game, but it's nothing different between them from us. We can do what they can do, pretty much, And I think it's what everybody got to realize that we're all human. We all can lose. We all can win. So.
Yeah, you just gotta play to your strong points, and then like you don't, what's the word? I guess it's like you don't quit on yourself before the game even starts. Cause like I've played on teams where like people see that and then they're like, oh, there goes our 2K run. Like beforehand, like we had confidence. We're just like, yo, like let's just play our game. Let's just try our best to like just win the game. Then we came out there, we played our game, and then like throughout the game, like you start to realize, yo, like they aren't like gods. Like they're human beings. They're people behind the computers and stuff. I mean the TVs and stuff. Like they aren't gods.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I want to thank the two of you coming on here. I know we didn't have much else to talk about. Obviously, we wish to see you at the next major event. Keep up the grind. Stick together. Like I said, I don't want to see any team changes, especially with you guys after a big win like that. You have to stick together. Consistency is key. But again, thank you guys for coming on here. Before I let you go, and I apologize to the rest of your teammates that I couldn't get all on here, but is there anything else that you guys had to say? Any shout outs or anything like that for us?
Shout out to the rest of our team since they couldn't be up here.
Yeah,
shout out to Mario. Keen did really well. Everybody did good that game, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, strong gameplay. I wish we could get him in. I'm here searching for this stuff, but I can't seem to send him a invite. But yeah, Mario, all of them, they all did great, man. We're just gonna keep practicing at it, grow as a team, practice more.
Awesome. That's all we want to hear. That's what Dan and I are here for. We're here to motivate. We're here to give that positive energy. So, gentlemen, again, thank you for coming on, and hopefully we see you guys soon enough.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
No problem. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
You too.
All right. Well, that was Dwayne and that was Malik, guys. 2 players from Vital Aspects. Like we said, they beat EchoFox, top 2 team in this past week's 2K. Obviously, kind of a big deal. Dan, let me go ahead and recall you just so we don't have these 2 names up here, just so I can see.
Sure.
Oh, no, actually, I think it's going to edit. We got 1 name that's gone. Uh-oh. Okay. Hold on. Alrighty.
All right, we're back in business.
Much better. Now we're back in business. All right. So, guys, like I said, those were 2 players from Vital Aspects. They defeated EchoFox in this week's 2K. EchoFox places, what, top 32, Dan? I think, or something like that.
I think that was it, yeah.
Completely and wildly big, I guess, upset for the week. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on. This is actually the bracket down here for you guys, so I guess we could go over that. For this past week's 2K, like I said, guys, we had Optic Gaming, Motivate, Pure Gaming, E United, Ghost, DBF, Distress, and 2K0114. I think we could have had a better name than that, but obviously we had Optic, E United, 2-0 Dem. We had DBF, Distress. They got 2-0'd. Then we had yesterday on Fight Night, we had Optic against Distress. Now, Dan, before we go forward, what did you think about that matchup? I know you actually were keeping up to date with it like you always do. You do really well with Gears of War. What was your thoughts on that whole match, especially with map number 1? Because map 2 was kind of a landslide at one point.
Yeah, it was interesting because when we had both of the players that we just had from Vital Aspects on, we're talking about how you just need to kind of play your game against the big teams, and that's what it looked like Distress was doing on map 1. They kind of weren't giving leeway to Optic just because they're Optic. They looked like they were playing their game. They were trying to keep control of the map, push the pace by their own doing, and it looked really good, and it looked like we were gonna have a game 3. It looked like that for a really long time, until like I want to say like maybe the 10th or 11th round. It really looked like that we were gonna go to a map 3 with Optic in the finals, but they looked really strong, and then Optic on their map choice, it's like, what do you can't expect too much from any team when Optic has their map choice. So map 2 wasn't a big surprise. Map 1, still a good effort from Distress.
Absolutely.
Well, Impact now.
Yeah, I was going to say, map 1 looked pretty interesting. The minute you texted me, I jumped on and watched. Looked good for a good bit. I mean, they were keeping up, head-to-head with Optic, and eventually, obviously, they won because we had a 2-0 final overall. And then you had Harbor, map 2, and like you said, that's a map pick for Optic Gaming. I mean, not many teams pick Harbor. Obviously, everybody plays it, and they try to put it in the cycle as much as possible. But to be honest, Harbor is their map. So it was kind of hard to watch for a little bit. You could see that the stress was kind of all over the place at a certain point, not because, they're bad or they're not as good as Optic, whatever it is. It's just that Optic has that map down so well, and their teamwork is insane. Their communication is insane. Obviously, not Billy. Billy just walks around and kills everything. I mean, that guy doesn't talk. He's honestly one of my favorite players to watch, which I'm sure he gets that often, just because he doesn't talk. The guy literally doesn't talk and just kills everything. But besides that, you got Kenny running the map. You got Explosives running the map. You have Summons, pretty much Billy Part 2, just runs around and kills things. So it's honestly very hard to beat that team. Then you have Icy, who's the loudmouth of that squad. So they just have such an awesome team comp. Out of that 2K that we have up here on the screen, though, the biggest upset, and that's actually the third tab for everybody here watching, was Panic Mode. Now, Ghost Gaming places outside of top 4. They actually lost to DBF, Driven by Fear, for everybody. That's kind of a big deal for everybody that doesn't know. Ghost Gaming is ranked 3rd overall, seeding-wise, out of the top 12 North American teams. And pretty much combined, overall, they are the 3rd ranked team. They lost to DBF. DBF is Razil, former pro, Noxious, former pro, Vibes, Rosado, former teammate, former pro, and Fnatic. Now, what did you think about that, Dan? What do you take from that match?
On the panel you have it as Panic Mode. I don't really think there's much panic to have. The only reason I say that is because On that bracket right there, Ghost is the only pro team that did not play a best of 3 series. They only played a best of 1. And when you beat a team on a best of 1, it has to take, you have to take, you know what I'm trying to say. I don't want to take credit away from them,
I know
but
what you're saying.
There's always that any given Sunday kind of thing that can happen. So if that's a series, I think that goes the other way. I think that series ends Ghost winning 2-1. But because it's that first map and it's an any given Sunday best of 1 kind of thing, that kind of, bit them in the ass. And I think that's a good example of why, whether you're a pro team or an amateur team, no matter what, there shouldn't be this thing where, pros respect pros, and when they come across each other, they play a best of 3. That shouldn't be a thing. That it should be quarterfinals are best of 3s from there on. And that's an example of where, the bracket would have been completely different, because I believe Ghost could take out Distress and we'd have a Ghost Optic final like we usually do. But because it's that best of 1, they got that any given Sunday luck. They edged it out against Ghost.
Absolutely, and I agree with you. Ghost Gaming plays really well. Obviously, it's really hard to explain what happened. I did speak to Rosado, who's a former teammate of mine that played for DBF for everybody. They beat Ghost Gaming. And he told me they 7-0'd them. Obviously it was a best of 1. And he didn't really have much to say, which is funny. That's how Rosado is. It's just hard. I know what you're saying, and I agree. But a 7-0, like, what happened? I don't know. Obviously I don't think it's panic mode. Like I said about EchoFox and Ghost Gaming, I honestly see them again 2 and 3 for Mexico City. Whether that happens, whether they drop off, I doubt it. But just crazy, the fact that we had Echo and Ghost. Ghost's not that bad of a fall off. Obviously, they still placed top 8 for this past weekend. What I thought I would have seen something a little bit better was a E United Optic Gaming. E United has had Optic Gaming's number for a little bit now, and they obviously beat them last event. Not that it mattered. Optic Gaming still came back and won the event, but E United. Now, what's your take on E United, Dan? Just because of they do have a lot of hype behind them. They're now backed by E United. Lava is leader. You got Rezik on there, who's hungry. What do you think about them?
I think I think in this next event in Mexico City, they're gonna. It would be a very, very, very long shot to say that they would win the whole thing. Obviously, that's a very long shot for anybody. But I think they have a legitimate chance to fight at Mexico City and open up a solid argument that they belong in the top 3. I truly believe that if they come out and have a good showing at a LAN event, that they put up a solid argument for a top 3 spot.
I agree. I'm not even going to say anything else. I agree with that. If they come out hot and they play like they did last event, but actually close it out, you could probably see them top 3, top 4 again. I don't see why not. Obviously, they have the skill, they have the talent, they have the experience on the squad as it is. Definitely see that. That's something that can happen, obviously. They've done it already. They could do it again, But that's it for the 2K. We'll wrap it up. Like we said, guys, Optic Gaming 2-0's Distress. They take yet again another 2K. Seems like Optic Gaming has just been clearing house as usual. They do lose one here and there, but very rarely. But we're going to move to the final portion of tonight's show, which is the EsportsGears Mexico City event that's happening January 26th to the 28th in Mexico City. We're going to be talking our top 8 predictions. So I'm going to be pulling it up on the screen for you guys. It's also top 8 predictions / pool play discussion. So Pool A you guys have up there, Pool B, Pool C, Pool D. So let's go ahead with the obvious. We're going to go ahead with Pool A first. We have Optic Gaming, Pure Gaming, Supremacy, Open Bracket team. For everybody that doesn't know, there's 4 pools, and there's 1 open bracket team that comes out from each, that goes into each pool, sorry. Those are the teams that come out of the open play. We have, I'm not too sure how many teams they have capped out, but it's anywhere usually from 32 to 64 teams. And then you have, those 4 top teams that come out undefeated. Dan, for Pool A, we'll go through it real easy. Give us your breakdown, including open bracket, your 1 to 4.
For open bracket, I don't know.
Just for pools.
I was
We'll
gonna
go just for
say,
pools.
the only open bracket prediction I can make is motivate. Like that's the only easy one.
Seriously, that's it.
But for pool A, besides the obvious that Optic is going to go undefeated in their pool, I think that there is I think that's a really tight pool between Pure and Supremacy. I think what happens is that gets decided by the open bracket team that makes it into Pool A and how that open bracket team shakes things up in that pool between Pure and Supremacy. I think they both have the ability to make it out of that pool. But again, it's going to be whatever kind of impact that open bracket team has will decide whether Pure or Supremacy goes on.
Absolutely. For me, I have it in that same order. Optic Gaming takes it. Pure comes in second. Supremacy third. Open bracket sits at 4. I agree with you, though. Depending on what open bracket team goes in there, we could see a flip-flop between the bottom two, like I said, Pure and Supremacy. Optic Gaming, obviously, the clear. I think they take that first. Anybody could have a bad day, but I highly doubt they let what happened to them with Allegiance like they did last event. I highly doubt that happens again. But straight down the list is what I'm saying. Pool B, EchoFox, Ronin, Vanquish, open bracket. What's your take on that?
So I'll start backwards. My prediction is exactly how the bracket is. But my only kind of upset radar is first and second, whether Ronin finishes first or Echo finishes first. Because I think that's a really, really tight match. I think Ronin on LAN, when it counts, can step up their game enough to make it a really, photo finish game versus EchoFox. So I think whoever wins when those two play will end up first in the pool and the other will end up second.
Absolutely. The next three are tough to decide, but Pool B, I'm going to go EchoFox first, Vanquish second, just because I like that new addition of DeFazio. I know he brings a lot to the table, especially that they were doing well enough with Razil. They drop Razil, they pick up DeFazio. I think a major improvement. Is it enough to beat EchoFox? Again, land is land, so you never know. But I still have Vanquish at second. Ronin didn't have the best showing last event, so I'm not too confident in them to say they take second or even take first, especially over EchoFox. So I have Ronin at third, open bracket fourth again. That's just the way the cookie crumbles for open bracket, unfortunately. Unless they come out super hot, usually they finished anywhere from third and fourth from what I've seen through the years. Pool C, we have Ghost Gaming, Fable, the Gosu Crew, and open bracket. What's your take on that?
This one, I wish I knew more about Fable. I obviously Ghost is gonna make it out of that pool. But I really don't know. I haven't really watched Fable play. I don't really think I've ever seen them play at all besides, a couple of them playing GBs every now and then. And, you can only tell so much from that. Mm-hmm. So I don't really know enough about them to make a prediction on that. I don't know. What do you think when it comes down to Fable versus Gosu Crew?
So this is the thing. Gosu Crew is currently, their rosters Yogurt, Hudson's, Kraz, Soto, and Pell. Roster, I know all of them. You know all of them. Roster's kind of all over the place, and usually that's either one, a really, really good thing or a really, really bad thing, especially when it comes to LAN, because you just have so many different personalities and types of players coming together to try to put it together, especially on LAN when it matters the most. Against Fable, who has a pretty well-established team. They've been playing for a while. They did make 2 different changes, though. They did get rid of J Rage and Sammy. Sammy was actually their home player for a good bit, so they did get rid of those 2 guys, and they added Crimsix if I'm not mistaken, and Marsh. Don't know too much about those two players. I'm pretty sure they won the last two 2Ks. Not that that means much, because obviously we all know that the European side doesn't have too much competition. Not to put Fable down. Fable's by far one of the better teams. Definitely a top 12 ranked team, I think, overall. But it's just hard to say, like you said too, with two new additions up against the Gosu crew, which is a very well established North American team. We have pros on there, but that's tough. Ghost Gaming definitely first. I'll probably go Gosu crew second, honestly, just because of the the experience on there. I think Yogurt's an awesome player. Kraz is also a great leader, whether he's the leader on that team right now or not. Still think he's awesome player from watching him. And Pell just kills everything. So I definitely see Gosu crew over Fable. The question marks for those for the Gosu crew is definitely Hudson's and Soto. Hudson's and Soto are both those kind of players that can have a really, really good event or a really bad event. And now most people would probably be like, that doesn't make sense. Wouldn't that mean, wouldn't that be for everybody? Not necessarily. You could have a consistent event where, you weren't the worst, but you weren't the best. You just did what you needed to do. You're basically that role player. But there are two kinds of players that, like I said, they're either really in it and they'll give you their all, or they're just below average. So that's my question mark for them. Fable, question marks, like I said, I already said, with the two new guys, Krim and Marsh. But I still have Fable at third. Again, they didn't have the strongest showing last event. So I go Ghost, Gosu Crew, Fable, open bracket. I'm going to stay with open bracket being fourth. I think we're both pretty spot on with that. In regards to it. So Pool D, we'll move on to E United, Era Eternity, which just came back. I think they were in the Gears World, but they didn't attend an event. But now they're back. They're sending a full NA squad to Mexico City, which is awesome to have them on board. World Best Gaming and open bracket. Your take on that, Dan?
Again, I'll start from my straight answer. I think that bracket is or that pool is laid out like it is. I think E United and I have to go with Era, not only because I love the brand and but my boy Firearm is on that team. I love that guy. I think he's one of the most underrated players out there. He just needs to be, he's a very specific puzzle piece and it needs to be put in the right place and he'll just explode. I really like that guy. I love his play style. I love watching him whenever somebody from Era is streaming. They were just streaming scrims against World's Best, I think. I forget who they were playing. I think it was World Best. But I like his play style. I'm really envious of the way he just dominates with power weapons. So I'm definitely a big fan of his. So I'm going with the pool as it sits right now. E United, Era, World's Best, open bracket.
I'm going to agree with you. I think that bracket is pretty much set the way it is, like you said. I agree with you, especially United, just because of how well they've been playing online. On LAN, obviously, the first event. That squad is pretty clean squad. Rezik, Shock, Lava, Crash, Chirpy, all extremely talented players. I think they take that with ease, whatever. I think they go, 3-0, 4-0, or whatever it is. No, 3-0, sorry, for the pool play. Second, I agree with you, Era Eternity. You have Xenon, Firearm, both former teammates, both extremely underrated. I agree with you on that, especially Xenon. I know people say that about Firearm, but I just see Xenon being a much more consistent player, and he doesn't grab as many power weapons as Firearm does. Not to say that Firearm isn't as good, but it just means that Xenon does his job whether he has a power weapon in his hand or not. You have Eternity, who's always done well. Honestly, he's one of the players that has been consistent from what I see. Dylan has been playing since I've been playing, so it's always good to have him on the team just for his veteran experience. You have Crushmo. Crushmo, I mean, I can't say too much. I know Crush is a really, really good player. I just don't know if I've seen too much from him to really say much about it. Obviously, it's exciting to have a new team, a good team that he has behind him. And then you have Wildebeest. That's by far one of my favorite players, Wildy, Ryan. Extremely talented. He does what he needs to do. He's very smart. He's usually the captain slash mid game meta kind of guy. So Wildy's always a good player to have. He's really really good with a power weapon. That's one thing with this team. They have a lot of power weapon guys, so they're going to be able to distribute those power weapons, which you get. You can drop an M-bar, a snipe, a boom. So you have multiple players that can do what they need to do with that. So I see that bracket being the same way. It stinks that when you're doing pool play predictions, we don't have that open bracket team in there, obviously. That would make life easier, but I think we had open bracket 4th in every pool, which is okay. That's fine. Whether it happens or not, we'll talk about that on the follow-up episode, which would be pretty cool. Now, to wrap it up for the night, we're going to go into the big prediction, our top 8. Now, to make it easier, we're going to break it down by top 4, and then we'll go bottom 4.
Okay.
Dan, you go ahead. You have the pressure on you. Your top 4 for Mexico City coming up.
In order?
Either or. In order,
right.
Random, whatever you want.
I know my 4 teams, but I'm a little shook on the order, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Optic, going to take first. Second, I'm going for the upset. I believe in the potential. Give me E United second, Echo third, Ghost fourth.
Man, that's pretty good. Pretty good.
I believe in the potential. That squad is like I always make the joke that there's gonna be a squad that's made up of ex Optic subs or people that have played on Optic at one point, and that's E United. They are literally anti-Optic. But I've even seen Ashes on Twitter say that he actually thinks that E United is probably top 2 with Optic. That Optic and E United are top 2. And that just reassured my belief that they are the potential upset of Mexico City as far as the generic standings go. Obviously, the generic standing is Optic, Echo, Ghost, E United. I think E United is a wild card, and that they're going to mess up that top 4, and they're going to take second at Mexico.
Okay. Pretty similar, but I like that thought process. I mean, that's definitely very, very possible. My 1 to 4, Optic Gaming, going to go ahead, obviously, with that. I think I've been saying them since the first event of last year. I mean, they're just too good right now. Once we see a consistent, loss of them placing out of first twice in a row, I think then we could start talking about a meltdown. But as of right now, they've only lost 1 event so far, and that was to the former EchoFox squad, former Envious squad. So I see Optic second. I had it in my head too. I'm going to go with EchoFox once again. I had them second last event. They got second. I think what happened obviously was a fluke. Not that anybody really is taking that into consideration. It's just the fact that I think Echo just doesn't get as much credit as they should be. I know a lot of people have been talking about them on Twitter in regards to placing bottom top 4 or even top 6. I know Franchise had made a couple of tweets about that, saying are we really a top 6 team now? And it's true. It's why are they considered that now? Not that we consider them that, but everyone's saying they're a top 6 team for what? I mean, they've placed second 6-7 times in a row. I mean, it's really hard to say they're really a bottom 6 team, bottom 8 team or whatever it is. So I have Echo second. The difference I have from my last prediction of the last event is I think E United takes third, mainly because of what you said. These guys are hot. These guys placed 4th last event with Allegiance. They made a roster change, obviously Lava instead of KO, which I think was a great move. You have a leader now, a pure leader, as well as a talented player / ex-Optic player. So that's just kind of like you said, the formula that people are going with right now. So I have E United third, and then I have Ghost rounding out for 4th, just because they've been consistent. I just don't know if it's right now the roster they have they can necessarily win an event with. And it's not that they're not good. I think Rush is by far one of the best players. I had him for MVP of the year, before the season started. I just don't know if they have what it takes. And I don't want to say who I think needs to go. That's a whole other conversation. I just don't see them breaking that top 2. Maybe they place 3rd, maybe they place 4th, maybe they place bottom. But that's my top 4. So I have Optic, Echo, E United, Ghost Gaming. Now we're gonna go with the bottom 4. We could start with 6 to 8, or you go 8 to 6, whatever it is. What's your take on that?
Okay. After top 4, interesting. I would put. This is a tough call, but for 5th, I'm gonna go with. Man, it's so hard. And it's not hard because it's between 2. I think there's 3 possible 5th place teams.
Damn.
Man, I think for 5th I'm gonna have to go with the hometown team. I'm gonna have to go with Ronin, man. I think they're gonna step it up just because it's Mexico City. I'm going with an upset bracket here because if I'm right, everybody's gonna think I'm a god.
That's
If
true.
I'm wrong, everybody's just gonna be like, he's just being an idiot.
Very true. Like, yeah.
So I think it goes Ronin, Era, and then. Oh wait, but then Vanquish can't be in there because they wouldn't make it out of pools. Wait a minute, that makes it all different.
No, they could still make it. Yeah, even if you didn't go 0-3 in pool play, you're still put in. I think if you lose out of a pool, I'm pretty sure you're put into top 21 or top 24. You just can't lose a match again, but you could still make it. It's a lot harder. It's a lot harder.
Side.
Granted, you literally can't lose a match, but some teams strive from that. So yeah, they could still make it, but it'll be very, very hard.
All right, scratch then. 5th Vanquish, 6th Era, Ronin 7th, and then Gosu 8th.
Damn.
No,
okay.
wait. Maybe I put Pure 8th. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Pure 8th. Pure.
Pure 8th. Okay. Let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna say. It's tough. I'm gonna put Pure Gaming at 5th. Yeah, I'm gonna put them up there. I think they're a good squad. Like I said, they have their flaws. Obviously, I think with time they're just gonna get better. Just because it's a really young squad. They're led by Demo Bounce. Don't have the best relationship with Demo for personal reasons. Do I think he's the best leader? I don't think so. But I know the guys behind him are really good. So if they just listen to him, from what I've seen, he's a pretty decent in-game leader. Could definitely see them 5th. A lot of people have him breaking top 4. I don't necessarily see that, but I'll have them at 5th. I think I had them there last event, 5th or 6th or something like that, and they ended up placing, I'm pretty sure, like 5th or 6th. So I see them there again. 6th, I'm going to say Vanquish. Like I said, I'm really big about DeFazio on that team. And I like those guys. They're quiet. They're quiet, and they just play. You don't see them on Twitter. They don't talk a lot of crap. You got Sneak on there, who I guess I would assume is the leader. So I like that team. So I'm going to put them at 6th. 7 and 8th, I think that's going to be the hard part. 7, 8, I'm going to go the Gosu Crew and Era Eternity. I put Gosu Crew at 7th, Era Eternity at 8th. I still think Gosu Crew could place higher than that. Era Eternity, it's tough. I mean, honestly, I think Era Eternity is just going to get that bad name or that bad predictions for most people because, some of those players were from Red Reserve, and they obviously didn't have a really good event last Dallas. I think they placed top 12, top 16, something like that. So yeah, I think 7, 8 is going to be Gosu Crew, Era Eternity, and that'll wrap it up. I mean, I think that's it.
Yeah, two quick notes. One, it's no secret that I'm a huge DeFazio fan, so he's the reason I actually ended up changing them to 5th. I just think DeFazio is literally like my ideal teammate. Like that guy is literally like what if I could spawn like 3 more of him, I would put myself on a team with like 4 DeFazios. And then what I thought was really interesting as we kept talking was that Ghost placed better in the 2K, but they placed better than EchoFox in the 2K, but them losing seems to have more of a negative impact than EchoFox losing. And EchoFox lost earlier. And I just think that's like hilarious because it's obvious that the EchoFox thing, you know, was more than likely a fluke. Like it's
definitely.
It's obvious. So like I love the fact that even though Ghost makes a better placing, I think that loss hurts them more than EchoFox's loss hurts them. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed. I agree 100% with that. Yeah, because people are like, all right, you know, EchoFox messed up. They placed top 32. Is that realistic? Probably not. But then you have Ghost, who places outside of top 4, especially with EchoFox not being competition to them for that top 4 match or top 2 match. You know what I mean? Like, you know, what necessarily happened? They played DBF, a team that's literally been put together in a week, probably less than that, and lose 7-0 to them. So, yeah, I definitely think that was a bigger impact solely for that reason. You know, the fact that they got 7-0'd and they place out of top 4 when EchoFox isn't even there to compete with them. I think, like you said, you hit it right on the head that, yeah, that seems like a bigger deal than EchoFox losing. And, you know, could be nothing. Could be Ghost placing top 4 again, top 3. But you never know. This definitely spiced it up for, you know, next week's event. So we're definitely excited to watch. Obviously, everybody make sure you tune in. I think it's gears.gg.
Live.gearsofwar.com.
Yes, that. Watch that Friday through Sunday. It's live commentary, casting. There's going to be crazy games going on. These pool matches alone should be crazy. So make sure you guys tune into that. I want to thank Dan, co-host, aka at Wardog, guys, on Twitter. Make sure you do follow him. We do appreciate all the support and love that you guys give us. Dan always takes his time out of his day. He's always watching Gears. He's always, you know, trying to make his way into the Gears of War world. So I want to thank him for being on here. Dan, before I wrap it up, was there anything else that you had to say?
Yeah, a couple things. One, shout out to Distress, just because I don't know if you knew this fact, but they are officially the 5th North American team to ever be in a fight night. I don't know if you knew that.
That's wild.
That the only teams that have ever made it to fight night are Optic, Echo, Ghost. E-United had 1 fight night, and now Distress. So
Wow.
Congratulations to Distress for being the 5th ever team on an NA finals fight night. It's a very exclusive club, so shout out to you guys. And that's actually really all I had.
All right. Well, Dan, I'm going to go ahead and do my traditional wrap up, but I want to thank you again for coming on here. And we will be talking soon, and we're going to have our recap